Check, check, check.
Jeff, you got me?
Yes, I do.
Scoreboard says Bakersfield.
That is correct. Okay. And a very pleasant good evening, and we welcome you to the VC Sportsplex on the campus of Ventura College for Ventura College football here on the VC Sports Network tonight. The Pirates return home after a victory a week ago at Moore Park College to take on the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros. Pirates coming in still perfect on the season, 4-0 after a win last week at Moore Park. And the Vaqueros still coming in looking for their first win on the year. They were beaten at home a week ago by Long Beach City College 56-7. And it doesn't figure to get a whole lot easier tonight as they come on to take on the Pirates. So tough to beat here at home. Renewing a long-standing rivalry between these two teams, the Pirates looking for their 10th consecutive win. The last time that Santa Barbara City College posted a win over the Pirates was back in 2006. but they'll have another chance tonight. Pirate football brought to you by A&A Concrete. When it comes to concrete, don't settle for cracks and callbacks. Go with the pros at A&A Concrete. Precision, reliability into every project, big or small. From driveways to foundations, we've built our reputation on solid work and satisfied customers. Need it done right the first time? Call A&A Concrete, built to last. Also brought to you by Quality Windows, our service. Puts the quality in our name. Pirates taking the field. We are moments away from opening kick. We'll come back and bring it to you. It's the Pirates and the Vaqueros coming up on the VC Sports Network. Set for the opening kick. The Pirates won the toss and have elected to defer. So the Vaqueros will have it first. Coming in winless on the season. Second week of conference play in the North. The Pirates got off to the win a week ago. Both teams heading into the bye. And we are underway. And Ing's kick. It's out of bounds. It'll be good field position for the Vaqueros, who have seen 3 quarterbacks already on the season, seeing extended work. Cole Lukinga, Jackson McPeak, and Brooks Trimmer all have seen significant run. And we expect that Coach Moropoulos going to utilize all 3 again here tonight. Perhaps still looking for that signal caller to lead this offense moving forward, and it's Brooks Trimmer that will have the first series. They will come out in a 3-wide receiver set. 1st and 10 from the 35. The Vaqueros in the road white jerseys. They overload the near side. First give straight ahead. Kaysen Matabala on the carry, and a loss of 3 on the play. So quickly there, the Pirates setting up a 2nd and 12. They'll say that Matabala lost 2 back to the 33. Last week, the Raiders had significant success against the Pirates, throwing the football with 6 touchdown passes in the game, but the Pirates ultimately prevailed 52-39 in that one. But overall on the season, the Pirates have struggled slowing down opposing passing offenses. Opponents with nearly 320 yards passing per game on the season. And overall, Pirates haven't fared a whole lot better defending the run. Opponents averaging over 5 yards a carry. So it's a Pirate defense still struggling somewhat to find their way, but they're quickly in good position here. With the Vaqueros facing a 3rd and 12, they are converting on 3rd down at 33% for the season. Blitz coming, good protection. Trimmer looking deep, and the pass incomplete. So a quick 3 and out for the Pirates. And less than a minute in, the Pirates will go on offense. And we'll see the punting unit, Jacob Reiser, coming in averaging a little under 30 yards a kick on the season. Reiser back. Good snap. And the kick away, low kick, but it will take a Vaquero bounce inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. And that's where we will see the Pirate offense for the first time. And joined by Mike Cepeda on the broadcast.
Hey there, Jeffrey.
Fresh off our work together earlier today in Golden West victory at home against East Los Angeles College, and now on to the nightcap, and the first carry for Javarian Salter. Weaves his way forward for a pickup of about 6, and the Pirates would appear to be all systems go. It was a quick 3 and out on the first series for a Pirate defense that has been struggling somewhat, but they figure to have success here tonight against a Santa Barbara team that comes in struggling to move the football, certainly. 2nd and 4. Give straight ahead and near the first down marker. Carter Hubbard with the tackle, but not before Javarian Salter on back-to-back carries moves the chains out to the 39-yard line. First throw for Brayson Leon, taking over for the injured Devin Tate, over the middle and complete into Santa Barbara territory. So Leon connects on his first throw and immediately moves it into Vaquero territory. Play action. Leon looking deep, has a man wide open for a Pirate touchdown.
That's the backup?
Right. Well said.
Pretty impressive.
And we'll see if we have this one down. Well, we don't. All right. We're going to have a look at it up top. Having a little trouble with our second camera, but Leon, who had struggled initially, but now has settled in nicely. A big performance a week ago. Against Moore Park, Leon, 22 of 34, 388 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he is a talented young quarterback. But again, an adjustment over the first few weeks. But now starting to settle in and connects on a couple of throws on the opening drive, eventually finding Tavion McCoy for a 46-yard touchdown pass, and the Pirates jump on top early, 7-0, 12:41 remaining in the opening quarter. Pirates on top, 7-0. And the opening kick, should say the kickoff up and out of the back of the end zone. And the Vaqueros will go back on offense. Down early after Leon finds McCoy for a 46-yard touchdown. First and 10 from the 25, receivers left and right. And this one nearly picked off to Montepecco. Had a chance at that one. Both mitts on it, but couldn't come up with it. One more look here at Pecco coming off the edge. Defensive Player of the Week back in Week 3 against Bakersfield. And oh, you'd love another shot at that football. That was a walk into the end zone. We'll see if we have Mike Spada with us. And Michael, almost a quick pick six.
Yeah, that would have been easy money for Pecco.
Again, they overload the right side, trouble on the snap, and Trimmer's just going to have to fall on it. And very quickly, Santa Barbara in a big hole again, a loss of 4. And a 3rd and 14 coming up. And for Vaquero fans, this has been the pattern in many respects. This is a team struggling and coming up with a very tall order here, having to travel down to take on the Pirates here at the Sportsplex. And they have come out, shall we say, a little jittery, perhaps. The first couple series, now a 3rd and 13. Trimmer has to go get that one. Now just tries to get it over the middle, and the pass incomplete, and it's a quick 3 and out. He was looking for Jaden Tinker coming out of the backfield. And again, here comes the Santa Barbara punting unit. And we're just about 3 minutes in, and it's all Pirates early.
Well, you expected that to be the case coming in. Santa Barbara shellacked last week, and Ventura, one of the best teams in Southern California.
And going to come away with very good field position here. Good kick coverage after the kick by Reiser. Nonetheless, the Pirates will start at the Santa Barbara 46. Well, we saw earlier today in the Golden West East Los Angeles matchup, there was an opportunity to get further into the roster, perhaps get some tape for a number of players. And the reality is, unless we get something of an upset here, this is likely to be a big performance from the Pirates based on what we've seen so far this season.
Yep.
And you wonder for Steve Mushagian and his coaching staff, the challenge perhaps of how do you keep the players invested and interested when they have to know that this is a matchup that in which they're strongly favored. And I think it's always a sort of a universal challenge. Glover on the carry, or should say Love Adebayo, returning from an injury. Picks up a yard and leaves a 2nd and 9. And have to sell the Pirates on the chance that, listen, on any given Saturday, if I could borrow the phrase, any team can lose. They'll overload the far side. And the read option, they swing it out on the far side and picking forward for a gain of about 8. Silas Kemp with the reception. And it leaves a 3rd and short. 3rd and 1 from the Santa Barbara 37. Showing blitz, could be a free play for Leon. And Leon going to look deep again, has a man wide open. This is going to be another Pirate touchdown. And that's just entirely too easy.
Santa Barbara came on the blitz, and nobody got home. Leon pitch and catch for 6.
And again, just wide open. So the penalty declined, and Brayson Leon feasting on this Vaquero secondary early. Couple of touchdown passes here in the very early going. And the Pirate lead is 14-0. And Mike, the Pirates are having this kind of success throwing the football, and they haven't even started to run the ball, where usually they are able to move the football on almost anybody.
Well, you can expect a heavy dose of running the football later in the second half.
Yeah, I suspect
if the trend continues.
They'll get their carries in. The lead now 14-0, 11 minutes remaining in the opening period here from the VC Sportsplex. Kickoff taken at the 3. And the return well shy of the 20. First 2 possessions for Santa Barbara have yielded -9 yards. Meanwhile, the Pirates have responded quickly with a couple of quick touchdowns. And the lead now 14-0. And we'll see if we have a change in quarterback. It looks like it's Trimmer going to continue for the time being. And a first down handoff, and again, Mason Coso quickly into the backfield. As Kaysen Montabella again finding no running room. Loss of a couple. Back to a 2nd and 12.
Jeff, pretty big game here tonight in the South. San Diego Mesa and Southwestern. That's at Mesa, tied up at 7 apiece. Coming up on the 8-minute mark in the first quarter. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Three wide receivers to the right. Trimmer on a designed roll, that one off the hands of his intended receiver, looking for Quinn Donnell. And quickly, 3rd and long once again. Pirates struggling mightily to get off the field on 3rd down throughout the first 4 weeks, with opponents converting at 47%. But again, you look at the Pirates' early schedule, the likes of Fullerton, Bakersfield, Palomar, and then last week at Moore Park, and the Raiders always shown an ability to put points on the board, and indeed they did put 39 on the board, and the Pirates ultimately winning that one 52-39. But they faced some tough offenses early, managed to get through it with 4 straight wins. Montabella perhaps a yard, as Coach Meropoulos electing to be more conservative with his struggling offense early, and we'll see Reiser in the punting unit. Touchdown passes for Leon to McCoy and to Silas Kemp. And Kemp, who was coming off a big performance a week ago in the win against Moore Park, is finally starting to get himself going. He had a big year a year ago as a freshman. 47 catches, better than 1,000 yards receiving, but had a quiet start to his sophomore season. But now starting to get things going, in another weapon for Pirate quarterbacks. Beyond Elijah Davis and Ryan Gillum, Now we're seeing McCoy and Silas Kemp start to get going. And this is a little more what we've typically seen from the Pirates, an ability to spread the ball around. And Brace and Leon rounding into form quickly. 4 of 4 for 106 yards in the early going. We're still just 5.5 minutes in. It's another short field for the Pirates. The Pirates will overload the right side. Salter on the carry, slips out of one tackle in the backfield, but it's going to get worse as he is eventually taken down for a 4-yard loss. So Salter's ability to stay on his feet ultimately ends up hurting him as he's chased down by Nicholas Navarre for a 4-yard loss. 2nd down and 14, and arguably the first welcome sight for Santa Barbara in this matchup. 4-yard loss. They send Gillum in motion. And to Salter, off tackle on the right side, back to the original line of scrimmage, and a 3rd and 10 for the Pirates. First 3rd down for the Pirates here tonight. Coming in, converting at 40%. Well, the first step toward some kind of upset for Santa Barbara, you would think, would be creating some turnovers to perhaps create some short fields. The pass over the middle, complete for a 1st down. Bickham with the stop. Kemp another reception down to the 37. But it's bad news for Santa Barbara. Through 4 weeks, they have forced no turnovers. -8 turnover differential. And it doesn't figure to get a whole lot better against a Pirate team that's done a very good job taking care of the football. Big hole up the middle for Salter inside the 20, down to the 13-yard line. That is a chunk gain for Javarian Salter, who so far has seen all of the action in the backfield. And the Pirates into the red zone. First carry for Cohen Glover. Cut down after a gain of 7. Brought down by Arzeen Shaheen. 2nd and 3. The Pirates closing in on this Vaquero defense that is on its heels as the Pirates amp up the run game on this drive. The big run by Salter, and then Glover. Back to Glover with a head of steam down to the goal line and in for the touchdown. Cohen Glover takes care of the last 13 yards, and the Pirates go up 20-0 with the PAT pending. Extra point up and good. Pirates off to the quick start, leading at 21-0 here on the VC Sports Network. Set to kick off. Pirates on the touchdown run by Cohen Glover pushed the lead to 21-0. Taken 2 yards deep, and they'll bring it out. And losing the ball. Looks like the Vaqueros did manage to fall on it. And they'll start from the 23. Well, a torrid start for the Pirates. Brace and Leon still perfect, hitting his first 5 passes, and now Salter and Glover combining to do most of the work on the last drive. In fact, with the exception of the completion to Silas Kemp, it was all on the ground. Finishing off with Glover taking it in from 6 yards out. First down, handoff, going nowhere. A loss of a couple. And right now, the Pirates can really pin their ears back. Not so much due to the situation, as it's still just in the first quarter, but it doesn't look like the Vaqueros can do much in the way of the vertical passing game thus far. We haven't even really seen a shot downfield. Going back to the first series on third down, Trimmer did look downfield, but the coverage was good. And right now, the Vaqueros looking for something, anything, to get something going over the middle. That pass caught, but a minimal gain, perhaps a yard, leaving a 3rd and 11. So the 1-yard completion, and for Trimmer, that is his first completion. Now 1 of 6. They'll spread it out with 4 wide receivers. And the pass intended for Jaquan Harris, but knocked down at the line. And a good job again by that Pirate front 4 that has had an outstanding start. We've seen Pecco get his hands up and into those passing lanes. Nothing doing for Trimmer. Another quick 3 and out. And with the struggles for Reiser in the punting game, Pirates figure to come away with very good field position.
Once again.
Yeah, it's been a couple of short fields already. Clock stopped 5:15 remaining in the opening quarter. High kick. Good one for Reiser. Back to the 41, where Kemp will make the fair catch.
So Pirates take over at their own 41-yard line. Mike Cepeda joined alongside Jeff Stoynoff with the call from Ventura. Ventura looking to improve to 5-0 on the season. The 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Happy you've joined us, everyone. Spread the word. SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube. Leon rolling to his right, has a man over the middle, up the seam. Pass is complete, and Leon again impressing everyone. Pass completed to Elijah Davis. Big chunk play now in terrific territory of Santa Barbara inside the 40. They're at the 48. Leon in the short shotgun. Thought about pulling it. RPO. It's great penetration up front there from Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara, it looked like it was Dietrich Abene. Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13 for the Pirates. Two wide receivers up top, one to the bottom. Little draw action, pass complete over the middle. Near first down yardage, but not quite. Davis again. So Davis with a big chunk play earlier. Pickup of 11 on that one. It'll be 3rd and 2. And you maybe wonder, is this an opportunity for the kicker to get some reps from long range? Is this 4-down territory? Leon in the shotgun once again. We talked about the running ability of Ventura throughout the season. They're going to hand it off. Indeed, they do to the right side. Little hesitation. Finally, with a second effort and a burst of speed up past the first down marker, inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. Another first down. Adebayo on the carry. We'll take out one stud running back, bring in another. Leon back to pass. Surveying the field, has a man over the middle. That pass is caught. First down, straddling the sideline, staying in bounds on his feet. No, they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds at the 18-yard line, but it's enough for the first. And again, another first down for the Pirates. Driving deep into Vaquero territory. Leon. Hands off. Nice hard running for 5. Up the gut. Looks like Jackson on the carry. Or Salter, excuse me. Leon back to pass, under duress, able to get away. Was he taken down before the pass was out? No, they're going to say incomplete pass. So great job there by Leon getting the ball out before he was sacked. So 3rd and 5 for the Pirates. And they'll go trips to the left. Vaqueros finally get some pressure, and another offside penalty, free play, touchdown. Well, Davis started it. Davis finishes this drive with a touchdown. Flag on the play. This is going to be declined. This is offsides on the defense.
Yeah, we got it.
Joined by Jeff Stoynoff.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and head down there.
And Ventura rolling. 4th touchdown on the day for the Pirates.
With the extra point.
Leon to Davis. If memory serves, I want to say that's number 2 for Davis. Kick is up.
And it is good.
And it's good.
Mike, I don't blame you for perhaps losing track here this first quarter. Leon now with 3 touchdowns, but he has spread it around nicely. To Kemp, McCoy, now Davis. Factor in the touchdown run for Glover. And do apologize. Working on the camera, but I believe now we have all of our cameras functioning. We're off to a slower start than the Pirates are, I'll tell you that. But listen, not many could keep up with this.
That's tough.
8-0 here in the first quarter. I do hope to have those 2 shots working for you moving forward as well, because there has been a lot of highlights here in this opening quarter. And how about Brayson Leon? 9 of 10. 168 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Pirate lead now 28-0.
Meanwhile, down in San Diego, 14-all coming up on the end of the first quarter.
So they'll tee it up. Already a busy first period for Bodie Ing. And the Pirates cruising early, cruising into the bye week. They would appear well on their way, even in the early going, to that 5-0 start. But it will get tougher into the second half, certainly, for the Pirates. Meanwhile, a good return out past the 40 to the 47-yard line. So good field position for the first time tonight for Santa Barbara. I believe that was Dominic Dodka on the return and sets the Vaqueros up at the 47. Well, it's a fast-moving first period. No penalties. See if I get the announcer jinx going. That seems like an automatic.
You're
Tinker
pretty good
on
at
the
that.
carry. Yeah. Matabella, on the carry. Picks his way forward for a pickup of about 4. And it will leave a 2nd and 6. And 4 yards for Matabella. And that is, I believe, the longest play from scrimmage for the Vaqueros here in the opening quarter. They'll overload the near side. The Pirates showing blitz. Here they come. Trimmer under pressure. Able to get it away and complete, and now running out of a tackle. So that's a nice job by Trimmer getting it out, and does find Aiden Storico. So Storico, a lesser used target early in the season, but presents a big target for Trimmer there, who was able to get the pass off against the Pirate blitz and move it to the Pirate 35, first down here in a quick first quarter. Matabella running into a wall, manages to spin forward for a yard. Leaves a 2nd and 9, and the Vaqueros don't have to run another play. And indeed, it looks like the Vaqueros going to be content not to run another play. Through 1, the Pirates on top, 28-0. It's Ventura College football on the VC Sports Network.
Second and 9 for the Vaqueros. Best drive for them in this game. Handoff inside. And no, play action. That's a great fake. And this might be good enough for a first down. We have an injured player on the sideline. As they've stopped the clock. Third and short. Obviously down 28-0. This is no doubt 4-down territory. See if the Pirates get some pressure here up the middle. And the Vaqueros are going to be maybe a little short of the line of gain. They need the 25, and yeah, they're just going to be about a yard short, less than a yard. So an opportunity here for the Pirates to get off the field. I wonder if Coach Mushagan is just going to bring the kitchen sink here. Try to go hard count. Nope. Straight power up the middle. Bouncing it to the right side. Ventura going to stop him on 4th and 1. And the Pirates will take over. Terrific job of penetration there on the left side and the pursuit of the football. As soon as Santa Barbara tried to pitch it to the outside, Pirates were all over it. So Ventura will take over at their own 28-yard line. Oftentimes you get a play like that right after you see a big shot taken down the field. I wonder if that'll be the case, but considering the game script, you maybe wonder, probably going to be a run here. And indeed, right up the middle, big hole! And this one might go to the house. Nobody going to catch him. Chalk up 6, the Pirates. Their 5th touchdown of the day. Well, they took a shot in the run game, and it went for 72. Man. We had to figure, well, you had to ask yourself, at what point was the run game going to start to really chip away? And they didn't chip away on that one. They absolutely took a hunk out of the defense of Santa Barbara. 72 yards to the house. Ventura up 35-0. You're watching SCFA football here on the VC Sports Network and SoCal College Sports. So Ventura up 35-0 here in the second quarter. Starting to get ugly for the Vaqueros. Pretty good return last time for Santa Barbara. This time, not so much. Got to be so deflating if you're the Vaqueros. Best drive of the day ends up getting thwarted on 4th and 1. And then right After that, next play, 72 yards for the house. So the Vaqueros going to go back to work. Looks like Dominic Soares. Excuse me, Evan Tarasenko at quarterback. Hands off. Over right tackle. Gain of 5. Devin Phillips on that carry. Tarasenko back to pass. Has a man. That pass is complete into Pirate territory. And the first down, we do have a flag on the field. I wonder if this is going to come back. Well, the indication is that this will come back. Everybody walking the wrong way if you're a fan of the Vaqueros. And I believe that's a signal for an eligible man downfield. Loss of 5 on the play. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. We'll do 2nd down again. Missed opportunity for Santa Barbara. Is Tarasenko able to hook up? Just pass 2nd level. Well, that looked like illegal procedure. Oh, this time over left tackle. And Santa Barbara able to find some success. It looked like Jamel Curry. I could have an incorrect number. That's certainly not out of the realm. Or Devin Phillips. We have Devin Phillips listed as 31. Curry is 21, but he's listed as a DB. I want to say Jeff said something about that earlier. The run enough for a first down, so a new set of downs here for the Vaqueros at their own 41. Handoff inside. Another good run for Santa Barbara. Well, the big thing for the Vaqueros right now, they need to get their defense a little rest. And more importantly, keep the ball out of the hands of the offense for the Pirates. Trips to the right. Handoff again. This one going to be another first down. Another solid run for Curry. Well, there's a bit of a rivalry game between two colleges relatively close to each other. We had one earlier today, Golden West and ELAC, and Golden West improves to 5-0 with an emphatic win. In the noon game, shootout at Riverside between Palomar and the Tigers. Tigers holding on in that one. Tarasenko under duress. He's going to be gobbled up. No, able to stay on his feet and throw it. Now, did he throw it in the area of a receiver? You see the Zebra is going to huddle up and have a conversation about it. Is this going to be grounding? And the flag is thrown. It'll be a loss of down and a 10-yard penalty for the Vaqueros. And the hits just keep on coming for Santa Barbara. So for Santa Barbara, that'll back it up into their own territory, the 46-yard line. Tarasenko back to pass, has a man over the middle. That one is caught. And Tarasenko working a little magic here on this drive. That pass complete to Lennox Lawson, 6-foot wide receiver from Mesa, Arizona. Not enough for a first down, though. Going to be 3rd and about 6. Tarasenko in the short shotgun, running back to his left. Here comes some pressure. He's able to get it out. Pass is caught just short, it looks like, of the sticks. And indeed, another 4th and 1 opportunity for the Pirates to get off of the field and take over again. Jeff, got to be really impressed here with Tarasenko's play on this drive.
Yeah, and the running game of Jaden Tinker helping to get something going. And little choice here.
Tinker, all right.
So a 4th and 1, and not much of a decision.
I didn't have a number for Tinker. No, not at all.
Well, a little improvisation going.
Yeah, timeout going to be taken. And we'll take one ourselves. 35-0. Santa Barbara looking to convert on 4th down when we come back.
Fourth and 1. And they will keep it on the ground. And very close to the first down marker for Tinker. This is going to come down to the spot. James Rose coming up with the hit and holding Tinker just short on 4th down. And the best drive of the game, to be sure, for Santa Barbara comes up empty points-wise as the Pirates turn the Vaqueros away on 4th down. And they will take over at the 34, just under 9 minutes remaining in the opening half. And the Pirates on top, 35-0. Happy you've joined us here on the VC Sports Network. And the Pirates, caution flammable. Another big hole into the secondary. And all the way down to the 34 of Santa Barbara. Sincere Cohen getting into the act. They'll spot it at the 34. Nonetheless, immediately flipping the field, 32 yards for Cohen on his first carry as he finds a big hole. And that's noteworthy with the injury to Braden Johnson, the returning sophomore at center, who is out indefinitely. Jack Sloniker moves from guard to center. And some new names into the fold. Luke Costers, Justin Davis will trade off at that left guard spot as Sloniker moves. We'll also see O.J. Ocampo. So the Pirates deep and talented on the offensive line, but they have lost arguably their top returner in Braden Johnson, who, as I say, is out indefinitely. So no timetable for his return at this point. But Sloniker has been so very good going back to last year and coming on as a redshirt freshman, and now he'll take over at center. And that was a big hole for Sincere Cohen. Following his left guard, running room once again. Another first down, Cohen. Good inside running. The Pirates chewing up the yardage on the ground. And Vaqueros just overwhelmed at this point. The size, athleticism on that Pirate offensive line, and just having a difficult time slowing the Pirates down in any way. It's now Cohen ripping off the yardage. They crowd the line. Big hit on Leon, and the ball is loose. They dial up the blitz. And we'll have this one down at field level, and let's watch coming off the edge. I believe it's Dean Davis. Yeah. That is a terrific hit on Leon coming on the blitz. Freshman Dean Davis, and they get the turnover. And as we noted earlier, that's the first turnover forced by the Vaqueros this year. And it comes at a good time as relates to field position, as the Pirates had it in the red zone, if not at a great time in terms of the scoreboard, with the Pirates comfortably in front in this one, 35-0. Nonetheless, a highlight for the Vaqueros on the big hit by Davis. And the forced fumble, they'll keep it on the ground a couple of yards. We'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Well, you can hardly blame Brayson Leon for thinking that he was going to have a little more time back there. He's had plenty of time. That was one of the rare times that the Vaqueros were able to get there as they dial up the blitz. And Davis comes in with the fantastic stick. Deep drop for Trimmer. Pop flies the near side, but just overshoots his target. He was looking for Carrick Cato, who's had a couple of catches. Should say just one catch for Cato, but Cato, another one of that talented group of receivers, along with Jace Jones and Nate Jeter, Quinn Donnell. All double-digit receptions on the season. Brings up a 3rd and 8. Santa Barbara 0 of 6 on 3rd down in the game. Let's see, the Pirates right now look like they're rushing 4. Going to be content to drop into coverage, and they do send 4. Straight drop, Trimmer stepping up, still looking. Now has a man open, completes for a first down. And that is Nate Jeter. So Jetter's reception takes it to the 44. Make that the 41. Say Jeter knocked out of bounds there. Still good enough for a first down. First conversion on 3rd down for the Vaqueros. It'll continue the drive. Play action, out in the flat in the pass, incomplete. Looking for Aiden Storico. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Still have not seen Jackson McPeak, Cole Lukinga. Instead, it has been Brooks Trimmer the whole way. Trimmer struggled at home against Long Beach last week. Just 2 of 9 for 19 yards with an interception. And after a slow start here, he is settling in, finding Jeter in traffic for 11 yards and another first down. Trimmer missed on his first 5 attempts. Since then, he's 7 of 11 for 79 yards. And he has done well taking care of the football without an interception. Vaqueros have it in Pirate territory. Trimmer under pressure, able to slip away. Now out to Montabella. And Montabella wrestled down at the 43. A gain of 5 brings up a 3rd and 5. I believe it's the 2nd and 5. Okay, that's the first play after the completion to Jeter. I lost it down in there. They'll give Montabella 4 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. And for the second consecutive drive, the Vaqueros are getting something going, stringing together a couple of first downs, but still not on the board. Receivers left and right for the 2nd and 6 play. Play clock winding down, snap to Trimmer, blitz coming. Now the pocket's starting to break down, and Trimmer going to head outside and appears to have enough for the first down. Angled out of bounds by Pecco and Dre Nelson. But he gets to the 40. That's a couple of yards shy of the first down, just 4 yards for Trimmer, and it leaves a 3rd and 2. Meanwhile, the clock continues to move. Pirates with a clean first half so far. Haven't allowed any points, haven't committed a penalty. They'll overload the right side. Trimmer on a designed roll, throws, and the pass incomplete, maybe intercepted. And it looks like it is, off the hands of his intended receiver. And the Pirates return the favor, getting the turnover. Watch once again as this one off the hands and picked off. He was looking for Jaden Tinker, lining up in the slot. And the Pirates come up with the turnover. So that ends the Vaquero drive as they once again got into Pirate territory but come up empty. Another big hole up the middle. It's a foot race now to the 20. Forget about it. Touchdown Pirates. Flags will come in after the touchdown. So this will cost them 15, but not the points. Another massive hole. And let's watch here, coming right at you. It's Love Adebayo. And they'll give chase, but they won't catch him. 72 yards after the interception, 1 play. And the Pirates have another 6 on the board. Let's take it back up, and you see the hole, and once he gets past that second level, only one guy has a chance. And forget about it, Adebayo coming back from the injury and appears to be all the way back. Keith Stout had perhaps an angle, but not enough of one. Extra point up and good. 4:01 remaining in the first half, and the Pirates now leading it 42-0 on the VC Sports Network. Pirates getting it done in all phases as they force the turnover, the interception, and one play. Love Adebayo. 72 yards to the house. And Santa Barbara with their hands full tonight at the VC Sportsplex. And a busy first half in kick coverage for the Pirates as they'll kick off once again. Well, it is going to be a tough decision for Offensive Player of the Week for the Pirates. I'll tell you that right now. Brayson Leon won it last week. What a first half he's having. Cohen Glover with a touchdown. Now Love Adebayo breaking off a long run as well. Everybody getting into the act. It was Easton Baker who had the interception, setting up the long run for Adebayo. And here come the Vaqueros. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. And we do want to thank Mike Cepeda as we bring him back up. And hopefully, Mike, you're still there as we've dealt with some technical issues here in the first half. But I'll tell you, Mike, whether you are in the booth or 100 miles away, we can count on you to solve any issues or step in for what we need. So appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. And, well, if nothing else, you've gotten to see one heck of a first 30 minutes from the Pirates.
Yeah, this is lambs to the slaughter right now. And the Pirates, man, they look pretty impressive. Couple of 70-yard plus plays.
Yep.
To pay dirt.
Yeah, first Cohen Glover. We've seen that a couple of times already this season. But now Love Adebayo returning after missing a couple of weeks. And right back to it. That pass a little behind his intended target. Incomplete. Quickly 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, and apologies. I had the wrong number earlier. I think I was looking at an old roster for Santa Barbara.
Well, there are some number changes, so we're doing our best to try and keep up with that as well.
Gotcha.
So we've got some things we're working on. I formation to the left of Trimmer. With time, Trimmer's still looking now. Pocket starting to collapse. Gets away from one. Koso has him wrapped up and brings him down. He did manage to pick up a couple of yards, but he's still short of the first down, and it brings up a 4th and 1 from the 44. Meanwhile, we do have a Pirate player down. So a decision for Santa Barbara and Craig Meropoulos. Not exactly the position in the field where you want to consider taking a gamble, but on the other hand, 3 minutes left in the first half and down 42-0. Does he perhaps consider staying away from playing strictly field position and taking a gamble? They are continuing to look at a Pirate player. We'll take a quick timeout here on the VC Sports Network. We'll bring you back live. And a 4th down and 1 And Craig Moropoulos going to send the punting unit on. High kick from Reiser. And it takes a Santa Barbara bounce into the end zone. 56 yards for Reiser. And the Pirates get the touchback. And 2:43 remaining in the first half. And, well, I think if the Pirates go with some conservative play calling, they still have plenty of time based on how effective they have been running the football. Here in the first half, already the Pirates up over 400 total yards. And it's been a pretty even split. 179 yards passing, but now up to 238 yards on the ground. Averaging an otherworldly 14.9 yards a carry.
Jeff, Southwestern's gone up 31-17 on San Diego Mesa. That's at Mesa.
Trying to stay undefeated. And who would have thunk it's Saddleback still undefeated in the South, am I right? But right now, with the Saddleback win over Riverside, it's shaping up to perhaps be the Jaguars and the Bobcats fighting at the top of the South.
3-1. I believe they lost to Southwestern. I could be wrong on that.
Well, now we've got something to look up. Meanwhile, the ball placed at the 41. So we'll get the call down on the field. As this is no touchback.
Sorry, so it's a loss to Fullerton, 37-22. That was in, I believe, week 3. Win last week versus Riverside. That was at Riverside in double overtime, 40-34. Right now, rolling at home versus Chafee. Bye week coming up next week. And after that, well, we'll have a pretty good idea of who the front runners are. I mean, we kind of already know, but.
Meanwhile, if you talk about the National North, how about Allen Hancock? Now 2-0 in conference play, and we saw Allen Hancock earlier beaten in a one-sided fashion at Golden West, and they really seem to struggle, but they have bounced back nicely, winning their first 2 games in conference, now 3-2, and they will host the Pirates after the bye. So who would have thought that the Bulldogs might be involved in a critical matchup coming off the bye, assuming that this score holds, and I think we can assume that. They'll both be 2-0. Another big hole on that Pirate offensive line into the secondary. First down yardage for Salter. Immediately moves the chains out to the 26. But now that shapes up
Jeff,
to be a big matchup.
That was a couple weeks ago. Hancock just absolutely throttled. They were, I want to say, 55-0 versus Golden West?
Yeah, and they
Golden West.
lose a couple of key players for them a year ago when they advanced to the postseason, earned a bowl bid, a loss to Golden West in that matchup. But a couple of notable offensive options moving on, most notably Makai Puga, who had a couple of great years at receiver for Allen Hancock, and they appeared to be struggling early in the year, but now getting it together, and credit to the Bulldogs and their terrific coaching staff getting them going. And so that is always a tough place for the Pirates to play. And they will have to go up there and take on a Bulldog team that will certainly come in with a lot of confidence. Now up to 3-2 on the season.
Well, Jeff, you talk about teams that maybe experience an injury late in camp or maybe week 1. We certainly saw that with Golden West. Golden West, Owa, as they call him. You're going to be better with a name than I am. He had to give away because of a thumb injury in week 1 at Mount San Jacinto, and Noah Banua.
Yeah, Noah Banua
for Golden West. Yeah, Noah Banua comes in and able to take the reins and do very well. Golden West last week They go to Bakersfield, a gritty win, and that was the first week back for OWA. But, that's a team that's loaded at quarterback. You think about the talent that they have at that position. They're just able to kind of interchange and still keep winning. But not every team has that opportunity. And Alan Hancock, you maybe wonder, was there an injury at quarterback or another position that influenced their early season jitters, if you will, their 2 losses in their first 3 games.
More running room for the Pirates out to the 40. Another first down. They'll stop the clock to move the chains.
Either way, the Bulldogs have righted the ship, and Ventura will get them after the bye week. Alan Hancock, a couple weeks to prepare for the Pirates.
They'll
spot 5-0 at that point.
Yeah, spotted at the 39. And a timeout on the field. Santa Barbara going to take a timeout. We'll step aside from the VC Sportsplex. Pirates on top 42-0 on the VC Sports Network. First and 10 for the Pirates from the 39. Salter with another good hole and a move at midfield. Down the far sideline, forced out shy of the 20. Salter with the open field move gets about 20 more yards. Finally forced out of bounds by Ty Jones. So Salter now getting into the act after Glover and Adebayo have had big runs. And it's Salter up over 60 yards in the first half. Play action, a completion on the far side for about 8 yards.
And Jeff, this is an opportunity here to execute in the 2-minute. Playbook refinement for the Pirates.
Jameer James with the reception. Sorry, Michael.
Very good.
Second and a short 3. It's like Glover back in the backfield. Vaquero's coming on the blitz. Under pressure, and Leon sacked. Again, off the edge. I don't know if it was Davis again.
Jeff, I thought that ball came out.
Yeah, and it was Dean Davis moving to the other side. Let's see if we have this one here. Well, this is down at field level. And again, see, coming on the blitz. We'll take a look up top as well, but they move Davis to the other side. And he, again, comes unblocked. So, Mike, you mentioned some things to work on for the Pirates. And pass protection will probably get some attention. Meanwhile, good hard running near the first down marker.
You know, something they don't have to work on? Run blocking.
Yeah, right.
Pretty primed there.
Jeremiah Jackson on the carry. And it brings up a 4th and 1 and down to 30 seconds remaining in the first half. The Pirates with all 3 timeouts, but not looking to extend things too much. See if they're going to run it down and just to try a field goal here. Obviously, Steve Mushagian comfortable running one more play. And, Mike, I think that if this is a 7-0 game, I'm almost certain that we see a timeout there and consideration of the possibility of going for it. But I think that Steve Mushagian content to run the clock down and send on Bodie Ying.
Coach Moose, a class act. And he understands. I mean, obviously, you know, it's a coach that gets it, wants to get some tape for his players, wants to get a tape for his kicker, and some reps. Serves two roles: emulate game reps, and you know, this could be something where down the season, down the line, you know, a kick determines, you know, you advancing in the playoffs or you going home.
Yeah, Ing 5 of 9 on the season. This attempt, 36 yards. Coming from the left hash. Snap, placement down, the kick away. It is no good. Missing wide right. And Santa Barbara can come out to run one more play. As we'll head into the half, and the Pirates lead it 42-0. So for Ing, a miss from 36 yards. Well, Mike, in the vernacular of the Simpsons, nothing could possibly go wrong, and that is the first thing to go wrong in the first half for the Pirates. As Ing misses on the field goal attempt, Vaquero is content to kneel it down. Halftime from the VC Sportsplex, and the Pirates on top, 42-0 on the VC Sports Network. Ventura College football is sponsored by Pegasus Transit. At Pegasus Transit, we believe in going the extra mile to exceed your expectations. Our tailored transport solutions are designed with your comfort and convenience in mind. With our extensive fleet of over 60 vehicles and top-notch professional drivers, we can take you anywhere. From airport transport to corporate shuttles, we ensure a seamless journey from start to finish. Trust Pegasus Transport for unmatched transportation experience. Also brought to you by Big Brand Tire and Service. Big on fast, big on friendly. And brought to you by participating Chick-fil-A locations, reminding you to eat more chicken. Start of the third quarter coming up. And it's all Pirates here from the VC Sportsplex on top, 42-0. Pirates well over 400 yards of total offense in the first half. How good could it have been? Probably the only two things to go wrong for the Pirates in the first half were a couple of turnovers in the red zone. So could have added more points, but came up empty on a couple of occasions. But nonetheless, the big lead as we get set for the start of the third quarter. And we do hope to be joined by Mike Cepeda as well, who's been sitting in on the broadcast with us as well here tonight. With the Pirates looking very good to move to 5-0 on the season, heading into the bye week, and looking ahead to a second half that is laced with some challenges, starting on the first week after the bye when they'll be up in Santa Maria to take on Allen Hancock, but looking ahead to a matchup with Citrus here at the Sportsplex, and a season finale here at home against Mount San Antonio College, who moves into the Northern Division this year. And the Mounties upended in their conference opener. But as always, among the most talented teams in the 3C2A. And the kick out of bounds to get things started. And the Pirates will start off with excellent field position as we get underway here in the third quarter. Grayson Leon, 11 of 13, 187 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half, brings the Pirate offense on. Cohen Glover to his left, 3 carries for 85 yards for Glover in the first half. Dumps it short, completes the pass for a gain of about 5, finding Tavion McCoy. And McCoy brought down at the 40, bring up a second down and 5. Keith Stout with the stop. They'll get McCoy a good spot to the 41. 6 yards will bring up a second and 4 for the Pirates. 3 wide receivers to the right, and the pass incomplete. Looking for Silas Kemp. Kemp with 4 catches in the first half for 71 yards, but couldn't handle that one. Third and 4 for the Pirates, who are perfect on third down here tonight. 5 for 5 in the first half. Glover following his right guard into the Vaquero secondary, makes another move at the 40, and Glover finally brought down at the 25-yard line. Great individual effort as Glover and Salter now both over 100 yards in the game. Let's have a look. Here is Glover, finds a lane, and then right there, able to cut it back and pick up another 15 yards. Glover with a 34-yard run now with 119 yards on just 4 carries. Could be a broken play. And Love Adebayo trapped in the backfield, brought down for a loss of a couple. Back to the 28, Carter Hubbard among the first to get there. Second and long. After the loss of 3. Well, Adebayo has 70 yards. So if he gets some carries here in the second half, it won't take much for the Pirates to have 3 different backs go for 100 yards on the ground in this one. Glover and Salter are already there. Straight drop, Leon all kinds of time, fires over the middle, catch is made at the 5, looking for the pylon, in for the touchdown. And the Pirates pick it up right where they left off. In the first half, Silas Kemp, his second touchdown reception, and it starts with great protection up front. And we'll have a look at this one down at field level as Kemp makes the catch. Coming across the middle, but able to keep it alive. And the move on Tatum to get to the outside. Kemp in for the touchdown, extra point, up and good. 13:01 remaining in the third. The Pirate lead now 49-0 on the VC Sports Network. And the kick away for Ing, taken at the 2. And with a lane at the 35. Now one man to beat, and Ing able to make the stop, but a big return for Marquise Banks into Pirate territory, and only Ing prevents the touchdown for Banks. The Pirates this season struggling on kick coverage, with teams averaging a little over 28 yards a return. And Banks with a good wedge. Found a lane, 63 yards on that return to set the Vaqueros up with a short field, and the goal for the Vaqueros certainly to find a way to get on the board. Try to get something positive going as Trimmer brings the offense out. Case and Matabella in the backfield. Tough going on the ground, certainly for the Vaqueros in the first half. Only Jaden Tinker able to get much of anything going. Trimmer tries to squeeze one in. Pass incomplete. Tight window for Trimmer. And the incompletion brings up a 2nd and 10. Two wide receivers to the left. Matabella in the deep eye. Straight drop for Trimmer. Rainbows the near side, looking for Donnell, and the pass incomplete. Like Rose getting back on the coverage. Well, they got Donnell out one-on-one. Working against Rose. And a little separation, but a good job by Rose. Getting back. Brings up a 3rd and 10. Dual setbacks for the Vaqueros, facing a 3rd and long. Blitz coming, good protection, and the pass incomplete. Looking for Caricato, I believe, over on the far side. No, that was actually Donnell over on the far side, so moving Donnell around, but still can't get him going. Leading receiver for the Vaqueros, and Donnell still without a catch here tonight. 4th and 10. And the Vaquero offense going to stay on the field. And again, not a lot of good options here. Too long for a field goal, certainly. Why not take a shot? 4 wide receiver set. Snap to Trimmer. Looking down the far side, incomplete, and the flag comes in. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know what the call is here. He was looking for Jaden Tinker. But this is where you would expect to see a pass interference call. And it is against Ventura. Perhaps we might. This is going to be going away from us, not too far away. To get it down at the field, but over there working one-on-one, and I don't see a whole lot there. But the call against the Pirates, and that is the first penalty on the Pirates here tonight, and it gives the Vaqueros a 1st down. 1st down carry down to the 17, gain of 3. Matabella on the carry. So Peyton Moise with the stop. Brings up a 2nd and 7. Early going 3rd quarter. And the Pirates in command. 3 wide receivers to the right. Blitz coming. Read option. Running room for Trimmer. Picks up a block. Reaches for the pylon. Didn't get in. But well designed for the Vaqueros. They're going to say that Trimmer stepped out at the 3. And the Vaqueros on the doorstep. Trying to get on the board. This was well done. Getting the Pirate defense going the wrong way, and running room for Trimmer. 15 yards and a 1st down. They'll give Trimmer 14 yards to the 3. Matabella in the backfield. Gets the call. Lowers the shoulder down to the goal line, in for the touchdown. And something for the Vaquero fans who've made the trip. Case and Matabella, first rushing touchdown on the season. And for Matabella, just 10 yards on 9 carries. But he does get into the end zone. The extra point up and good. 11:08 remaining in the 3rd period. Ventura on top, 49-7 on the VC Sports Network. High end-over-end kick. Taken at the 10. Kendrick Smith out past the 30 to the 35. 25-yard return for Smith. Brought down by Mac Hughes for the Vaqueros. And the Pirates, for the first time tonight, will look to answer back for a Vaquero score. They are on the board here early in the third. Adebayo bounces it to the outside, has a first down. Out to the 48, spotted at the 49. 14 yards for Adebayo. Arzine Shaheen eventually forces him out of bounds. But the flag on the play going to take away the good work by Adebayo, bring it back to the 29. So the spot foul will leave a first, and it should be 16. We need the 45. So first and 16 after the holding call. Adebayo gets the call on the left side, still churning his legs, finally brought down after a gain of 6. Nelson Smith on the tackle. 6 yards, they'll give Adebayo 7 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 9. And rejoined by Mike Spada. And Michael, Vaqueros do manage to get on the board. Completion over the middle. Another spin move, first down for the Pirates. Finding Bryce Zavala, the returning sophomore, out to the 49. So the Pirates come back from the holding call and move the chains, taking it to the 49-yard line.
Little spin cycle there for Zavala.
Yeah, Bryce Zavala, a name from a year ago, but in that crowded field at tight end, led by Ryan Gillum, second leading receiver for the Pirates on the season. But Zavala gets a chance, comes up with the big catch, second effort, and a first down to the 40. Jeremiah Johnson, good hard running. Jeremiah Jackson. 11 yards and a first down. First and 10 from the Santa Barbara 40. Adebayo, little hesitation, now has some running room. Tripped up at the 25, 15 yards for Adebayo. Patient running for Love Adebayo as he creeps ever closer to that 100-yard mark. Now up to 93 yards on 6 carries. And again, Glover at 119, Salter already at 101 yards. And Adebayo will stay on. Brayson Leon also figures to go for much of this one, with both Devin Tate and Max Martin nursing injuries. Adebayo in some trouble in the backfield, going to be thrown for a loss. Carter Hubbard able to wrap him up all the way back to the 35, it looks like. That is a loss of 11 for
Jeff,
Love
you see a play
Adebayo.
like that, and it makes me think of Barry Sanders. How fast was that guy?
Yeah, you seldom see them wrapped up like that, I'll tell you that.
I meant just the notion to, hey, let's just go the entire other way.
Yeah.
I'm stopped here, and Adebayo obviously not the running back that Barry Sanders was and doesn't have really the speed. That's a nice chunk play there by the Pirates.
Yeah, Ben Bowman also in that tight end field. Saw Zavala earlier. Now Bowman gets the yardage back from the loss by Adebayo. No, it's staggering to think about the way that Barry Sanders ran, and yet even against NFL defenses, seemingly so difficult for anyone to get any kind of a shot on him. In fact, there's a question for you. In the entire career of Barry Sanders, I mean, how many times did anyone get a good, clean stick on Barry Sanders? Almost unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you had to have a lot of courage to even try. A pretty massive chance that you were going to look dumb trying to tackle Barry Sanders anyway.
Yeah,
Can't imagine really loading up to try and get a shot on him. The penalty flag does bring back the play to Bowman, so the completion erased back to a 2nd and 19. Leon looking deep, and the pass incomplete. Do you have a flag
Gotta be a
down?
flag.
Yeah, the flag is down. It was Troy Lay on the coverage, and let's see if we have this down. Look at this one closer to field level. I'm trying to come in here, and yeah, we're gonna have a great look. And
Well, Jeff, he doesn't turn his head.
I want to correct that. That was Sebastian Wanjiro on the coverage.
Yeah, Wanjiro doesn't turn his head. He makes contact with the receiver down the field. My understanding of it, that's PI. Now, if he turns his head, it's not pass interference because he's now trying to make a play on the ball. But
Yeah,
because he's not trying to make a play on the ball.
Gonna have
Go ahead.
one more look here, and we will bring you back live. But we're gonna slow it down just a little bit and see if we can see here. But yeah, I think the arms go up there, and there's some contact. But Mike, I think you're right. If he gets his head around, is that what's going to ultimately make the call there? And get away
if he gets
with
his head
the
around,
contact?
now he's playing the ball. Now he has equal right to the ball as much as the receiver does. But he just makes contact with the receiver, and here we go with the completion.
Inside the 5, flags are down. In for the
Another
touchdown for the moment, but let's see if this is coming back as Javarian Salter coming out of the backfield makes the reception and has the touchdown. But this likely going to go against the Pirates, who nearly pitched a clean slate in the first half in terms of penalties. But now starting to pick some up here in this third quarter. This one might have taken a touchdown off the board. The Pirate offense already moving back. And indeed, it's a holding call.
Spot foul. I think they're going to spot it at the 5.
So that'll come back to the 15. So it'll be a 1st and 7. So 1st and 7. We will go back and look at that play in a moment. Salter will stay on in the backfield. And now whistles coming in.
Let's take a look right now.
Yeah. See if we have it down at field level. And Mike, you can identify the holding call here. Should be see it right about there.
Right here.
Yep. Well, a pretty good look at it. Meanwhile, Glover, I should say Salter on the carry. Down to the 1. Yeah, so that gets back much of the yardage on the holding call on Miles Hull. It is good enough for a 1st down. And the Pirates down to the Santa Barbara 1-yard line. Taking some time off the board. Adebayo with the carry.
Yeah, they're not on the doorstep. They're in the foyer.
They're already inside, and Salter in for the touchdown. Pirates do answer back. 55-7. And the way the Pirate offensive line has dominated the line of scrimmage tonight, 1 yard, an impossible ask for the Vaquero defense. You see the push on the right side, and Salter easily in. And now Ing on to try and tack on the extra point. And actually, that is not Bodie Ing. It's Ashley McMichael, and McMichael puts it through. 56-7, 6:32 remaining in the third period. It's all Pirates on the VC Sports Network. Pirates push the lead back out to 49. Leading at 56-7. Return out to the 28-yard line. Dominic Dadka on the return, 21 yards. And the Vaqueros back on offense, 6:26 remaining. Mike, keeping an eye on that Southwestern San Diego Mesa matchup as well. Also trying to stay up on the rest of the National North. Trimmer on. 3 wide receivers to the right. They screen it out. And flags are down on a pickup of about 8 yards. Dominic Dadka with the reception, but we will await the flag. Mount San Antonio bouncing back after the loss a week ago, leading 47-9 at the end of 3, and home against Moore Park.
Jeff, does Ventura have a Thursday night game?
No, I don't believe so. They're back next, I should say, in 2 weeks, up at Hancock.
2 weeks.
Yep. And then we're back on October 18th. I believe that's Citrus. And then on November 8th, the season finale taking on the Mounties. Mount Sac coming to town. And we expect there to be a lot on the line in that one. That pass picked off at the 20. And the return down to the 15-yard line. And
Jeff Citrus with the win last week over Mount Sac.
Caleb Harrison, with the interception. And the return down to the 16-yard line. And a very short field for the Pirates, as they will start in the red zone. They're in the third quarter, Pasadena on top of Bakersfield 31-17. And the Renegades in danger of falling under 500 as we head to the bye week. A couple of tough losses for the Renegades here to the Pirates, and then at home to Golden West, as the Renegades now in the Central. but in danger of falling to 0-2 in conference play. Salter on the carry, lowers the shoulder down to the 13, 3 yards, brings up a 2nd and 7. Hubbard with the tackle. Citrus leading at Santa Ana. They're in the 4th quarter. 30-17, the Owls on top. And I believe it was the Owls that posted the win over the Mounties.
That's correct.
So they are a player in the National North. Salter falling forward after contact down to the 5, and with that second effort, has enough for the first down. And the Pirates once again deep in Santa Barbara territory.
I think a helmet came off.
Yeah, do have timeout on the field. So Salter will remain in the game. J.D. Rollins on in the slot. Leon looking to throw, looking for Rollins in the back of the end zone. And he's got it for the touchdown. Another touchdown pass for Brayson Leon.
Is there a flag?
What a 2-week stretch for Leon. Is that a flag down at the Santa Barbara 1-yard line? And it looks like it is an ineligible man downfield.
Oh, what a pass.
So just like the last drive, yeah, as Leon threads it into Rollins, but all for naught. It'll come back to the 10, but is this shades of the last drive where the touchdown came off the board, but it was only a momentary reprieve for the Vaqueros as the Pirates eventually punched it in anyway.
Right.
Still have it here. 1st and goal from the 10. They'll set up in the pistol formation. And brought down behind the line. Sincere Cohen tackled behind the line. Smith with the tackle for Santa Barbara. Good anticipation, a loss of a yard. 2nd and goal from the 11. VC Sports Network back next Friday. Women's soccer. Next 2 Fridays. Hope you will join us. Jackson, flags are down. He's in for the touchdown, but again, this might be coming off the board where you would expect to see holding. And indeed, Pirates. Mike, this is like Karate Kid Part 3. Get the points.
Bad 3rd quarter.
Get the points, commit the penalty. Get the points, commit the penalty. How could such a bad movie be such a germane reference?
Well, we see a lot of bad in some of these games.
Leon swings it out in the flat, and Jackson
shoestring
denied what could have been a touchdown. Touchdown saving tackle. Dean Davis. And Davis with a couple of sacks tonight, and they're a touchdown saving tackle. Impressive performance in a losing cause for Davis. Keeps Jackson out. 3rd and goal from the 14. Snap to Leon. To Jackson around the edge. Forced out of bounds at the 4. Brings up 4th down.
Well, Jeff, we talked about it earlier. Game of the week down in San Diego between Mesa and Southwestern. Right now, Southwestern clinging to a 7-point lead. They're in the 4th, early 4th, 31-24, Mesa with the ball and driving.
21-yard field goal attempt. And Ashley McMichael on to try and put it through. This will come from the left hash. Placement down, the kick away. Up and good. And Ashley McMichael puts it through. Extends the Pirate lead to 59-7-31 remaining in the third. Kick taken at the 7. Tadka on the return. Spins away from one tackle and out to the 23. 59-7. The Pirates running away with this one. Looking to move to 5-0. Trimmer on with Tinker in the backfield. We are back on the VC Sports Network on October 18th as the Pirates will host the Citrus College Owls. For Pirate fans, you gotta like how the schedule shakes out. Get Citrus and Mount San Antonio College, but you get them here at the VC Sportsplex. Meanwhile, they'll travel to Santa Ana and Long Beach in the second half as well. Long way to go, certainly for the Pirates, but off to a good start here in the National North. Going to move to 2-0. Tinker on the carry for a yard. Eric Rivera with the stop. Late stages of the third quarter. All Pirates here on the VC Sports Network. Tinker on the carry. Off tackle on the left side. Takes a good hit at the 42. He's about 3 yards shy of the first down marker. Brought down by Isaiah Salinas. A 3rd and 3 for the Vaqueros. Still just 1 of 10 on 3rd down. They'll load up the near side. Tinker following his left guard, about a yard short of the first down marker. They will not have to run another play here in the third quarter if they don't want to. This is, I thought it was a 4th and 1, and again, Mike, I think they have the wrong down. I believe it was a 1-yard carry followed by 7 yards, and then another pickup of about a yard.
Saw a game earlier today. Questionable down calls and calls in general.
Yeah,
A 10-minute delay to
the
sort out
Vaqueros,
some things with unsportsmanlike.
I think the Vaqueros are getting an extra down here, but we will find out when we come back for the fourth quarter. Through 3,
Not that they could use
59-7. Pirates on top. First down yardage for the Vaqueros. So they convert on the 3rd and short. And they'll get a fresh set of downs as we move to the fourth quarter, with the Pirates leading this one 59-7. Well, I'll tell you, it's hard to imagine anyone playing much better than Devin Tate did in the first few weeks before an injury sidelined him for the last couple of games. The ball is out. The Vaqueros have it. It'll end up as a pickup of about 8 yards. And I believe that was picked up by Julian Martinez.
I wonder if the camera operator maybe tilt down a little bit. Trying to see what had happened at the boundary there. 2nd and 2 for the Vaqueros over right tackle.
A little shy of the marker.
Yep.
So Tinker about a yard shy, leaving a 3rd and 1. Well, at this point, neither team going to be in a big hurry.
I gotta believe you're right.
Matabella in the backfield. Vaqueros will quickly come to the line, and it will be Matabella. On the right side, falls forward for a gain of 3. Down to the Pirate 41. Good for first down yardage. They'll move the chains. Clock moving.
Maybe come away hobbling. Wow.
Again, Trimmer working under center. Play action. Straight drop. Now pop flies to far side. Catch is made, but out of bounds. Looking for Cato. Brings up a 2nd and 10. And Nate Jeter coming off. Trimmer struggling here in the second half.
Yep.
Pirate defense, particularly in the secondary, has stiffened. 4-yard run leaves a 3rd and 6.
Jeff, update in the South, 31 all. Going into the half, Southwestern led this game 31-17. They get bageled in the third, and now with 7:07 remaining, Southwestern just threw a pick. And now San Diego Mesa driving after the pick in Jaguar territory to take the lead.
Third and 6. Blitz coming. Trimmer in trouble. Throws off the back foot. Coming back to get it. Catch is made. First down for the Vaqueros and a touchdown for the Vaqueros.
What an adjustment.
Dodka coming back for that ball. And the Vaqueros with the touchdown. 59-13. Let's watch here as the Pirates bring the pressure, almost get there, and Trimmer just off the back foot.
Wow.
But Dodka making the adjustment, and then the move picks up a block from Donnell. And in for the touchdown. And on a night, if not a season, where highlights are few and far between, that is certainly one for Santa Barbara. 59-14 from the VC Sportsplex. It's Pirate Football on the VC Sports Network. Taken at the 12. Glover out to the 31. 11:23 remaining.
Jeff, wide open in the South this year.
Oh, I think it's no question. And a first down carry, good enough for a first down, still moving the pile. So the Pirates go right to work, clock moving. Meanwhile, looks like a change at quarterback for the Pirates. Well, Brayson Leon's night largely done, we would assume. They'll keep it on the ground on a first down carry for 8. Sincere Cohen to the 43 of Santa Barbara. Hubbard with the tackle. Play action. Complete. Running room down the near sideline. And back to the middle, another Pirate touchdown. Antoine Locke with the tremendous running after catch. On the quick screen, turns it into a 43-yard touchdown. Jaden McNabb with his first pass, and it goes for a touchdown. Let's watch one more time. And back live. McMichael's extra point up and good. Pirates on top 66-14 on the VC Sports Network. Kickoff taken at the 1. And a short return shy of the 15 for Shaheen. Just a 13-yard return. And the Pirates, who have controlled this one from the outset, leading at 66-14, just over 10 minutes left. First down for the Vaqueros from the 14. And the Pirates not slowing down with the touchdown from McNabb to Antoine Locke. The Pirates are up over 700 yards of total offense. 3 yards brings up a second down and 7. And rejoined by Mike Spada. McNeil with the reception out to the 25. Does appear to have enough for the first down. Now they will move the chains. Clock
Jeff,
moving.
I believe they've instituted a running clock here, even though he went out of bounds because of the lead for Ventura.
It makes sense. Winding down toward 8.5 minutes to go. And this one in the books. Pirates going to move to 5-0. Straight ahead for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, I believe there was a memo earlier this season talking about possibly shortening games, and games that were out of reach.
So I wonder if it's the 50-point differential. That's
Yeah,
what we just got to. And I believe, if memory serves, well, I want to say they led by 50 earlier as well, but they might have been moving the clock then as well. Both teams obviously looking to shorten things at this point, looking for Jeter in the pass incomplete. Jeter working.
Well, they do stop the clock here.
Against Trey McCowan. And the pass just overthrown. 3rd and 7 from the 28. And the Pirates trying to put this one in the books. Well, the Pirates have had some struggles defensively. Obviously, the numbers will get better off of this performance. But still a very crowded field in the National North. Jeter with the reception. Out to the 44. Fresh set of downs for the Vaqueros as they'll spot it at the 45. Mesa and Southwestern still tied.
Yep. Jeff, in our coverage, our decade-plus coverage of Ventura College football, you know, the Pirates have been pretty generous inside of the 20s. They get pretty stout within the red zone, but something to tighten up here as we head into the second half of the season.
Yeah, pass incomplete. Yeah, I think offensively they are right where they want to be right now. They have been outstanding every week so far. 32 points at Palomar in the opener. That's the lowest point total. Since then, they've been up over 40 now for 4 straight games. But as is often the question with the Pirates, the question will be how far will the defense take them? Obviously poised for another postseason appearance. We could say that pretty safely at this point. McNeil with the reception. Just short of the first down marker. About a half a yard short, bringing up a 3rd and a yard. But when you talk about at the top, well, a pretty good spot for McNeil, enough for the first down. But certainly, if you look ahead to a possible playoff berth, and that's obviously a long way from now, but that'll be the question against the other top teams in the SCFA. But an awful lot of talent once again for the Pirates. And they will head to the second half unblemished. Montebello with a head of steam to the 40. 5 yards. Clock moving.
Good burst. Jeff, they're at the 2-minute mark. In San Diego, 31-all Mesa after another fourth quarter interception. Driving at the 30-yard line of the Jaguars.
Well, some games in doubt, if not ours.
I think this is the only one that's in doubt.
Montebello wrapped up at the line. Mason Coso with the stop. No gain for Montebello. 3rd and 5. They'll say that Montebello lost a yard. Winding down under 5 minutes to go. I don't think it's a galloping shock to guess that Craig Meropoulos will be thinking about 2 plays here on a 3rd and 5.
Pretty safe bet.
Trimmer on the roll out the pass, incomplete.
Bailey only had one.
He was looking for Storico.
Jeff, it's a final Citrus over Santa Ana on the road, 30-24.
So the Owls do hold on. They are also 2-0 in conference play.
4-1 overall. Cerritos on top of Canyons big in the fourth, 34-13.
Falcons appear to be reloaded as well. We'll have them later at Golden West. And that one juggled and incomplete. I'll tell you, Trimmer on a well-designed play. Looked as though the Vaqueros were set up to pick up the first down, but the pass off the hands of Aiden Woods. And the Pirates do get the stop now, 4:37 remaining in this one. And Mike, based on what we've seen, I think the Pirates can run out the clock here if they don't score first.
Yeah.
I think the most likely thing to stop them from running out the final 4:37 is running into the end zone. Such is the problem when you can move the football. Just running the ball. McNabb with the handoff, but whistles will blow the play dead. It's McNabb and Cohen in the backfield. So the Pirates will back up 5 yards. And the clock not moving. Yeah, 4:20 remaining at San Diego Mesa. Southwestern and Mesa tied at 31. The give to Cohen straight ahead. Another good hole for Sincere Cohen. A pickup of 7. Second down and 3. At the 47. And Jaden McNabb at the controls. Running room on the left side, first down. Stood up and driven back at the 35. But another good hole for Jalen Wingo. Wingo's first carry. And it's a chunk gain. They'll spot it at the 36. 17 yards for Wingo. And the Pirates putting on an old school Big 8 performance here with 450 yards rushing as a team. It's loose. The Pirates do pick it up and manage to move the pile for a gain of about 5. Jaden McNabb able to retrieve and make something out of nothing. Second down and 7, winding down to 2:30 to go in this one. Read option, McNabb with running room at the 20, down to the 10, in for a touchdown. And the Pirates again. One more touchdown as McNabb now with a touchdown rushing to go with the touchdown pass. 2:15 remaining. And the Pirates are up over 70. We talked about the years that we've covered the Pirates, and I know we've seen some big offensive performances. I'm not sure that I recall a game in which they got to 70. I know there have been a few where they went 60 plus. But 73 on the board, it's a noteworthy number. 2:15 remaining in the game, and the Pirates leading at 73-14 on the VC Sports Network. taken at the 6. Now to the 25, brought down at the 28. Marquise Banks, 22 yards on the return. Well, the Pirates fell a little short of 3 backs going for 100 yards here tonight, as Adebayo at 82 yards, Sincere Cohen up to 74. So 5 different runners over 50 yards in the game. It's been a feast of statistical dominance for the Pirates in this one. Leading 73-14. Down to the 2-minute timeout, with the Pirates leading it big. Keeping an eye on the score down in San Diego as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're having issues with their feed.
And Pasadena City with the win at home against Bakersfield, 45-24.
Wow.
So the Renegades do fall to 2-3, and Pasadena continuing to acquit themselves well back in the National after a strong run in the American Conference. And they're back in the Central. And a big win against the Gades. First down carry. Flags are down. A run of 8 yards out to the 36. I saw flags come from every direction. Well, Mike, we haven't really seen the tempers flare. There's a personal foul against the Pirates, but that's one of the rare personal fouls here tonight, and certainly no extracurriculars, I guess, when it's a 60-point game. You don't see as much of the tempers getting away from you.
Every now and then.
That'll take it into Pirate territory.
We certainly saw tempers in a blowout earlier today.
Yeah, it's true. Well, evidently that's the sweet spot. When it's about 40 points, that's when the tempers go. Not too much in a very close game, not too much in a 60-point game. Right in that 30 to 40-point range. That's the hot zone for tempers. That's my working theory. The give
I like it.
to Kieran Bukes. A gain of 7. Winding down to a minute to go. Back to Bukes again. And a gain of about 3. And I heard a pretty big reaction down on the field. And I wonder if that has something to do with Aiden Loeffleman, sophomore, making the tackle. That's about the time that we heard the legit roar from the Pirate fans. First down for the Vaqueros. One more throw for Trimmer. Fires and completes. Down to the 20-yard line. As we're down to 18 seconds. McNeil with the reception. And the officials are going to stop the clock just long enough. They'll move the chains. Will the Vaqueros elect to run one more play? As they wind the clock, it's down to 10 seconds. Well, this is as much drama as we've had. Will they go for one more snap? Pirates trying to get another player on the field. They do snap the ball. Final play. Down to the 10, but Bukes denied. Knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line as this one goes final. 73-14. The Pirates move to 5-0 with the impressive win at home over Santa Barbara City. The Vaqueros dropping to 0-5. That'll wrap up our coverage here from the VC Sportsplex. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We will be back for Pirate football on October 18th when they host the Citrus College Owls. A reminder, Friday the 3rd, Friday the 10th. Women's soccer here on the VC Sports Network as well. We hope you will join us for any and all of it. Thanks so much. Have a great night, everybody. So long.